It's a beautiful day and a bid you warm welcome to the studios of Poly TV in Laro. It's time once again for that informative program, the one that explains every publication, every highlight in the newspaper that we want to take a focus on every day. My name is Femi Afolabi. We call the program Newspaper Review and Analysis, and my guest is here seated in the studio, my dear Ebo, Mr. Deji Adeyemi, the Baba Agbalagba himself. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here again.
Thank you for finding time to be here again.
Oh, yeah.
We begin this production with a look into the front page of the Punch newspaper and its economic. Front page newspaper of Punch this today says federal government, World Bank in talks over second largest $1.25 billion loans. Nigeria wants to take another round of loan from the World Bank. And the rider to that headline says, loan approval expected 6 months before 2027 presidential election. World Bank flag high political risk ahead of 2027 poll. Nigeria Economic Summit Group warns Nigeria's debt outlook remains troubling. Those are the major flashpoints of the talk we're going to talk today. Nigeria is going to take another $1.25 billion loan from the World Bank.
Well, it's a kind of a deja vu. We have seen this before. And so it's not entirely new. However, the fact is that if there's need, if there's a critical need for loans, external loans or even internal loans, yes, of course, it could be taken. But what are they applying those loans to? Actually, I'm aware of this loan from the World Bank. Nigeria are taking about 1.5 billion in 2024 or thereabout. Now we are taking another $1.2 billion, and not well, of course, World Bank does not dispense naira. So eventually, what you find, and these monies have been tied to specific sectors of the economy, health, education, and so many other things, and such other things like that. But my own concern is that are we applying these loans effectively? I can trust that because they are not grants, they are loans. We are going to pay back however long. And the Oyibo person will not give you free dash, it will not dash you anything. And they will go into corporate governance in giving you. They won't, if you go in there with cooked figures and the rest of it, you may not fly because they themselves are even researching on the proposals that you have brought. And for Nigeria, you see, the meeting they're going to hold is what they call the decision meeting. That's in June. And immediately after that, it goes into the board of directors of World Bank, and they gave it up. And for the thing to have reached that stage, it just means that we are just good to go. They will give us. However, like I said, these loans must be thoroughly implemented.
Of course, it is not a new thing. This is not the first time this present administration will take loan. But I think what worries Nigerians or the economists, as it were, is the timing of this loan. The loan is going to be released 6 months into the next election. And of course, even the World Bank itself is saying that the political risk of granting loan at this point in time is worrisome. And the Nigeria Economic Summit Group is saying the quantum of Nigeria's loan is troubling. Maybe those economists are saying what we don't know.
Well, of course, they ought to know better. However, what I know is that it is if it were in a situation where people, um, people entrusted with responsibilities of governance. If they do their job, of course, we won't have to go and take a loan. The loans that we are taking is guaranteed with the black gold that God had given us. Some of the loans that we are taking earlier on, in fact, some quantity of crude oil had already been earmarked for repayment. And under normal circumstances, we can refine our oil here and sell to them instead of they coming in to take the crude and go and in fact in some cases they send it back to us like Rotimi would say in one of his plays where Mr. Cattle is going on a senseless journey because you ship cattle to Europe, they bring back conflicts. Sorry, corn beef. So what are you talking about? We can do it here.
All right, let's try to interrogate another story. Still on the front page of Punch newspaper there, this minor report. Tinubu governors eulogize Fashionati at 100. That elder statesman, Pa Ruben Fashionati, is celebrating 100 years centenary celebration. And since 2-3 days back, we've been seeing or reading different kinds of eulogy, commendation, and warm words by the president, by governors, by who is who in Nigeria. And Pa Fashionati is one of the remaining disciples of Pa Obafemi Awolowo, as a politician anyway. Yeah. The question I want to ask you, this present generation of politicians, they haven't learned anything from Pa Ruben Fashionati and his like. The Baba Adebanjo, of course, the late Pa Adebanjo. Have they learned anything?
Yes, of course, times are changing and people are not being true to themselves. The Papa Fashionati, he deserves all the encomiums he's getting. He was one of the earliest disciples of Awolowo, and of course, he was one of those who worked hand in hand with Papa Adekunle Ajasin. And you know how close to Awolowo that Ajasin was. And so for him to find himself in this era of the kind of politics that we are playing, he sometimes in his quiet moments he will just be shaking his head that, oh, you can't do this kind of thing years back in the 60s or in the early 50s. Those ones have been doing politics years back, maybe before the independence. Yes, he probably would have been into politics before independence. And of course, they have done their work. Their legacies remain. When you look at the Southwest today, Awolowo and his lieutenants should be praised for what they have done in terms of education, in agric. Remember the agric farms in those days, the first settlements. And tell me, even in health and so many, because these are people that we need. We need them, and one will be glad if the now avant-garde politicians, they can just take a minute and copy them if possible, copy them or buy something from what they from their profiles and repeat it here. We need people, politicians that can really work for the country.
Well, we in Puri TV, we wish Pa Ruben Fashionati a warm celebration. We wish him happy birthday and we wish him long life and health and prosperity. Happy birthday, Pa Awolowo. We will use that to launch into politics in our discussion this morning. And we're going to the front page of a Vanguard newspaper Vanguard newspaper this morning says 2027 presidency, Jonathan caught in PDP's quagmire. 2027 presidency, Jonathan caught in PDP's quagmire. Let me say it is not news again that former President Goodluck Jonathan want to run.
It's not news.
In 2027.
Okay.
In fact, he wants to run on the platform of PDP. But the question this party or this paper is pointing out that which of the factions on which of the platform will President Jonathan will run? Is it Wiki? Is it Turaki, Makinde Turaki faction? And already, if you want to run on Wiki, is it Wiki that is campaigning for President Tinubu?
Well, I think it's a season of theater, drama, and all kind of mischief, smart plays, and all the rest of it. But in the meantime, it is what it is. There's no democracy without politicians and their antics. And let me just put it this way: President Jonathan has not even declared that he wants to run.
But he said,
what happened was that some group of people, not from PDP, not from, I can't remember the name of the group, they went to him asking him to come and run. And he said he will make consultation.
Yesterday, one of his aides confirmed that President Jonathan will run on the platform of PDP. And it was reported in one of the newspapers.
I knew that. Okay. But what I know was that one guy, a barrister, went to court saying that Jonathan cannot run because he has
another ball game entirely.
Okay, now you are saying that actually
one of his aides confirmed that he's going to run.
What's the name of the aide? Don't worry about that. We can always check that out. But I think we have discussed it once. What did he forget at the villa? So that he wants to go and pick. I don't envy President Tinubu. Come to think of the kind of problems that Nigeria has, and you cannot run away again. So that's what President Jonathan wants to go back and continue. I don't think so. I can't get a meaning to it. But all the same, it's a thing that even the scenario as it is now, PDP has an undertaker. The way I look at it, that Wike has finally brought down, shaking the table, and the table has crumbled to me, because there will come a time it will only be Wike alone in that party. What I mean by this is that at least with current people who have appointments, Makinde is being touted to have gone to APM. What's it called?
Bala has gone to
APM. So PDP will not be having any governor. And of course, those two have their own people, their own loyal people, and the rest of them. So, and they probably will be moving to them. It's a pity that a party that wants to rule for 16 years and plan to rule for 60 years is now going through this kind of mess or pains, because I still don't know how they manage. I still can't get it.
Well, like I always said, 24 hours in politics is a very long time.
Oh yes.
So anything can happen in a
well, of course, one is wishing them well. Anyway. Yes. My own is that what are they bringing to the table? Are they what benefits to the people? Are we going to have steady electricity? Are we going to have good roads? Are we going to have food in abundance and the rest of it? If none of them is bringing that, then they are just on a cruise.
All right, we're still talking politics, and we go into the front page of a Tribune newspaper. And Tribune newspaper says, Rivers' fate of Fubara's men hangs in the balance. It is no news again that members of the House of Assembly of Rivers State who are loyal to Fubara did not scale through the screening, while those who are loyal to Wike have been given nudge to contest their seat to return to the assembly in 2027. And this paper is saying, if those loyal to Fubara are not getting it right, what is the fate of Fubara himself?
Yes, it's a big pity that even with the intervention of the president, this is still playing out. This is the Wike Fubara imbroglio. Because what you find out is that Wike is, I hear that he is positioning one guy, Kingsley Chinda, who was the minority leader in the PDP, even up to about a week ago or something like that, as one of his favorites for the government house. And what one finds out is that Tunde, for the sake of the people, I mean, shelve these ego, flaunting activities. Because what is it all about? If not for the people. Now it is who gets where and who is somewhere. You see, it's just a pity that we are going to, and we all should take a look or stay focused on the politics of Rivers State, such that their big bats and the rest of it does not turn violent. If it does, of course, there might be a break in elections or some of those things, and you can imagine all these things. There will be distractions for INEC towards giving us a free, fair, and credible elections.
Well, one popular statement in politics is that the mandate of whoever is in office is owned by the majority of the people that voted that man in office.
That's right.
If you're a governor, the mandate of being in that office is owned by your constituency, the people that voted into office. But it's unfortunate that here in Nigeria, once you get into office, your loyalty shifts to the power brokers that brought you there, or some godfathers. So at the end of the day, it is the masses that suffer, because this thing that's happening in Rivers State is at the detriment of the majority of the people.
Of course, I mean they would be spending money to prosecute all these shenanigans. Let me put it that way. And of course, those monies could have been directed to people who are asking to be lifted out of poverty and the rest of it.
But come to think of it,
yes.
Governor Fubara is very popular in Rivers State, very popular, because people believe that he performed very well. So can't he ride on that popularity and his performance, seek election maybe in another party, without resorting to these power blocks that are taunting him?
Unfortunately, it is too late because the INEC deadline for submission of registration of members list or whatever closed yesterday. Okay. So you cannot, anybody for that matter, you can't move from one party to another now, as things remain, because INEC is expecting that in the next 3 weeks, by May 30th, I think, all candidates must have, because the primaries must have been done and they already know the candidates. And as we are moving ahead, it will be time for full blast campaigns.
That is exactly what the Guardian is saying on its front page. It says defectors face dual party registration sanctions, await INEC's verdict. Like you rightly said, the movement, the window for listing and delisting from a political party is over. So those that are caught in between, what is their hope in 2027? Appointments?
Well, of course, appointment, because they have always wanted to benefit something. Why now you just said, what did you say? Appointment. You still get an appointment for Christ's sake. If those people in government, if they perform very well, and they can give, then you can just be wherever you are and do your own thing. That is, do your own business. If you are a farmer, if you are a teacher, if you are, name it. So it's not by all means you must take an appointment, because people have that mindset that going into government is to go and chop something.
Still discussing this particular headline, I read something online yesterday. There was a post that is viral now, that if you look at the aspiration into the next assembly, next National Assembly,
Okay.
not less than 35 ex-governors are seeking, while some of them are sitting senators, they want to go back, while some of them have been there before and they want to return to the National Assembly. And people are calling for a kind of electoral reform that will prevent or preempt whoever just leave office not to aspire to go into Senate or to go into another office until maybe after 4 years that you've rested before you seek re-election into the
Yes, it could be by way of regulations, laws, but and also it could be by way of tradition, by norm. And for crying out loud, National Assembly is not meant to be where
retirement
for former governors. It is so terrible that people do it that way. We need the best person that is brought there in most appropriate ways of credible elections and all that goes along with it. But as things remain, I don't align with that kind of setup. I leave. You see, it's so funny because we are trying to copy the American model. In America, you find what's it called? A senator who has spent 30 years or 30 sessions in the Congress or the Senate. But in Nigeria, it's a little bit different because our own setup is not American. In this place, we emphasize more on fair share and all the rest of it. So, but I think it's a thing that we are learning, but it's looking like it's seemingly an unending learning experience. We're learning of democracy. Maybe one of these days we'll get there.
I wish we have more time to explore this, because there are a lot of developments that are looking so terrible. Maybe that is why people still call our democracy nascent. And I don't know how long we will remain nascent.
How long will we remain nascent?
That is the program today. I want to thank sincerely Mr. Adejuyejemi for finding time to be here again.
My pleasure.
Your thoughts are very explicit and nobody can take it away from you. The experience is there.
Thank you.
That's the program. We'll be back tomorrow with a fresh edition. Until then, stay blessed.